Today, I just want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole, and kind of the things that are going on in the market right now. A lot of people are saying that cryptocurrency is dead, specifically Bitcoin, and with the recent um, vulnerabilities that are being found in Ethereum and the security concerns that are associated with it. I'm not really going to get into what I think personally about these types of things. I'm kind of just going to give you guys like an overview of the technology and why I think that like Bitcoin may go away, but cryptocurrency will always be here to stay. And I think that one of the reasons why uh, people are very reluctant to get into this or to even give it much attention, especially after the huge price drop that we saw coming into 2018 and throughout the rest of the year, is that the Bitcoin was very much kind of grabbed up by the financial institution, and it became kind of like this money making thing, and that's really not what it is in a fundamental uh, aspect. It's more like Bitcoin was designed to essentially decentralize currency, and that's the fundamental idea. It's not a money making machine. It's a form of currency in itself. So I think once the financial institution kind of got their hands on it, and then a lot of the media and the way that was all handled kind of gave off this idea, especially to people that were not necessarily, hackers, if you will, got people that really kind of like understood like the underlying technology associated with Bitcoin. And the thing is that Bitcoin is kind of like, you know, uh, it was the experiment, okay? And we've learned a lot from that. And that's why you see a lot of like altcoins that are coming out that have improved upon this. The only issue is that Bitcoin is still kind of used as like this conduit to exchange these other alternative coins into more stable forms of currency, like the U.S. dollar or the euro, and many other. I don't want to say government-controlled currencies because that's just incorrect, but you know what I mean. Uh, Basically, other currencies that have been around for a long time. And if you're not aware, like those currencies have their own issues as well. Especially like in the United States, we see lots of inflation. It seems like the value of things just keeps going up and up and up and up. So that's a different story. Um, so I think that this underlying technology is the future, and I think it's like up to us to kind of cut out, the middleman, which is the banks, and I think they introduce a lot of problems. Again, that's a whole nother video about the fractional reserve banking system and how that works. But just to kind of give you like an idea, that's kind of, at least in America, I know for sure, the fractional reserve banking system essentially means that the amount of assets that the bank loans, that they are only required to hold a specific fraction of that in their vaults, and then the other portions of it can be loaned out or used for investments and whatever the bank wants to use it on in order for the bank to make money. So banks don't just make money off insurance, or excuse me, interest. But again, that's a huge rabbit hole that I'm not going to go down right now. But I just wanted to kind of talk about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as a whole, in that it's not a money-making system. It is a monetary system in itself, and that it works through basically a collection of people facilitating the process instead of a single centralized um, uh, entity or institution such as the Federal Reserve Bank. And that's why I think it's never going to die, and that's why I think it's definitely the future, at least when it comes to having a stable, uncorrupted world currency. And so I think that cryptocurrency is a huge candidate for that. It's still in the iteration process. It's still in the development process. And that's kind of why it hasn't been adopted to that level yet. But I think that don't let the media, don't let kind of like this whole financial institution craze of the value's too low, it's not profitable. It's not about profits, okay? It's about, what I said earlier, having that decentralized form of currency. Thanks.